Cardinals and the Jaguars, also a game that Steven and I both have a play on here. Brad, since you don't have a play, let's start with you. Cardinals win a nail biter last week. The offense, like we said, looks like it's going to be as good as we expected. They actually got AJ Green involved in the offense last week as well. Rondell Moore gets really, really involved because DeAndre Hopkins was getting shadowed, and there's enough weapons on this team to where, okay, shadow DeAndre Hopkins. We have other guys that we can go and score points with, and that's what the Cardinals did. Jags look like one of the, if not the worst teams in all of the NFL through the first 2 weeks of the season. This thing is sitting on 7. It has moved to 7.5 at the majority of the books. The last one, DraftKings, is still sitting at 7, but FanDuel, MGM, PointsBet, etc., all up to 7.5 in favor of the Cardinals, a total of 51.5.
Yeah, tricky one for me. No play. The thing I thought perhaps was worth a look was potentially the over. So we know about the Cardinals' pace. We know that they like to go no huddle. They've been doing that for years now with Murray. And we, we think they're probably like a top 7 offense, which is what they were before Murray was injured last year, what they've been so far. And then the Jags, quite interesting. They are the most pass-heavy team in the league in situation neutral so far, and they're also in the top 5 in pace as well. And then the other thing they're doing, they've got Trevor Lawrence is second in the league in air yards, so they're going pass heavy, they're going quickly, and they're throwing downfield, which is 3 ingredients for an over, if you ask me. So yeah, as I say, not a bet, but I thought we might have 2 quick offenses throwing deep, which we might like for DFS and the total.
All right, Steven, you and I both simpatico here on this as well. Cardinals in a teaser down to 1 here. I love this play. I actually didn't put it in the sheet. I do have a play on the Cardinals at the flat 7 as well. I think that the Jags might actually go down as the second worst team in the league this year. I do believe the Jets will probably go ahead and take that crown. Now that they've gone to Davis Mills, maybe it's the Texans, but they're going to be in that mix. And I believe this Cardinals team is probably one of the top 8 teams in the league. And so when you look at this, just a mismatch all around. As Brad mentioned, Cardinals operating no huddle over 40% of their snaps in week 2. So they got back to what they really want to do, and that's play fast, make the other defense tired, not give them a chance to substitute, different things like that. And then you look on the other side of the ball with Jacksonville. I mean, listen, Trevor Lawrence, 5 picks through 2 games so far. He's Pro Football Focus's lowest graded passer through the first 2 weeks of the season, and he's only behind Ben Roethlisberger in turnover-worthy plays. And so I don't see that flipping. I think that there's a chance for him to get better over the course of the season. I don't see a drastic improvement here in the course of a week. So give me the Cardinals, especially the Cardinals in a teaser. I love it a ton.
Gentlemen, I shall have my revenge on the Jacksonville Jaguars after week 2. I have a bet on Arizona -7. I have also teased them down below 2 here this week, using them on a couple of different teasers with the Carolina Panthers and also the Buffalo Bills. So when Arizona has the ball this year, yards per play, they're 4th in the league, Jacksonville 19th, and that was against Tyrod Taylor and Teddy Bridgewater. The PFF grades Arizona top 6 in pass blocking, Jacksonville bottom 5 in pressure and coverage grade on their defense. The Jacksonville defense bottom 7 in EPA per play. Then you go to the other side when Jacksonville has the ball. And Brad, I like all those things they're doing. They're being aggressive. They're throwing it a lot. They're letting Trevor Lawrence learn by fire. But at this point in the season, he's got to show it to me first, because schematically they can do all those things. I like how aggressive they are, but he's got to show me he can execute it first before I start giving them some respect here. And he's been horrendous. I mean, yards per play, Jacksonville was 4.7 yards per play in the first half, week 1 against Houston, before they trailed 27-7 and got some garbage time in the second half. Week 2, yes, against a Vic Fangio defense, but 3.8 yards per play in that game. Trevor Lawrence, 38th in passing grade through 2 weeks. Guys, there's only 32 teams in the league. He's 38th in the league in passing grade through 2 weeks. So this is just a bad situation. He needs to show me that he can actually execute what the coaches want him to do first before I think about it. And now it's a big step up in class from what they played the first 2 weeks against one of the top 5 elite offenses in the league.
Brad, we talked about a little bit about this last week where we said, look, if this Cardinals team actually has a defense, they could be trouble for just about anybody. You look now through 2 weeks, small sample size, don't get me wrong, through 2 weeks, Cardinals 14th overall defense according to Pro Football Focus, 6th overall defense according to DVOA. And I think a lot of this, people it was under the radar, but I think people looked at JJ Watt and looked at that signing, and because he didn't have a ton of counting stats, they were like, he's on the downside of his career. He can't do anything anymore. But JJ Watt still demands a lot of attention. And when he does that frees up guys like Chandler Jones. It frees up some of these other linebackers when they do decide to blitz and stuff like that. And so if the Cardinals have found something on the defensive side of the ball, I think this could be a very, very interesting team throughout the course of the season. Yeah,
agreed. And it does start up front, I think. Well, they're kind of an interesting defense because they're kind of built inside out. They're built up, they've got the pass rushers, but then they've got good safeties and linebackers rather than corners. So, I think that's probably where they're weak. And that's perhaps why Minnesota got to them a bit last week, because they've got those good receivers. But I don't think that's going to be a problem here. The Jacksonville center was on the injury report. So again, they should get good pressure here, you would think, and potentially improve those defensive numbers.